Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tuned.
If you have a request or shout out, hit us up live in the studio. And now your host.
Good morning, everyone, and to all of our fantastic listeners out there. It's a fantastic Friday morning here on Let's Talk Showbiz, here from our studios at 27 Boxes in Melville, South Africa. I'm your host, Nico Barnard, and joining me as always is the lovely co-host, Shantae. Welcome.
What's up, Niklaus, and good morning to all our fantastic listeners out there. It's a merry almost Christmas, and we're welcoming you to episode 8, our last episode of 2018 here on Brand Live. Excited to end the year with a bang! Mama, I just killed a man. Ha, jokes. Glad to be back.
So yes, can't believe that we are today marking our last episode for the year of 2018. It's been an incredible past few weeks here with an incredible journey for us. Last week we explored Showtime Australia's World of Tina Turner with Caroline Barole in studio, who slayed as the Queen of Rock for her tribute. If you missed it, stream or download our episodes on our podcast on YouTube. It's available, Let's Talk Showbiz, and you can catch up on all of our previous missed episodes.
For the new listeners out there, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Showbiz, where we post updates and news on every episode to keep you in the loop of what's going on in the industry. And also feel free to tag us in your posts to share any new and upcoming events in the industry. We would love to hear from you and our industry gems.
And of course, speaking about industry gems, and for those Queen lovers out there, we have our very own SA Queen band here in studio today.
Yes! But before we dive into the world of Queen with these legend artists, let's see what's hot in the industry with a special focus on the festive season's local entertainment and SA artists.
So the festive season has major lineups and entertainment in the very local restaurant, theatre and park. It is going to be a beautiful season for those seeking some festive spirits and carol live.
Never mind, some holiday season job creation for the performers out there. Love it! To find out what's happening in your city, spickety Google search, and you will be amazed how much is happening right by you throughout South Africa.
And if you can't make the big gun shows out this season, don't be disheartened. Passionate performances are all around us this festive season with some lovely local gem venues all around the Gauteng area.
To shed light on some of the music festivals, for those in KZN or on holiday close by, displaying an epic lineup of young and upcoming SA musos from the 15th December is the Kwantu Village's Folk and Griot Music Festival, featuring several artists that will also be performing at the Smoky Dragons Festival at the Drakensberg later in December. So be sure not to miss these gems.
That's right, the Smoky Dragons Music Festival is happening in the Drakensberg at the Dragon Mountain, hosted by the Amphitheatre Backpackers Lodge, with a glorious amphitheatre at the festival's centerpiece. The Northern Drakensberg comes alive with a musical display, and the crowd can enjoy unbelievable music and non-stop adventures from the 29th until the 31st of December. If you're feeling spontaneous, or if you're in the area, check this out. It's an amazing collaboration. I can only imagine the experience with the amphitheatre, the music acoustics, and the mountains. It's sure to be a spectacular view.
Yes, and check out my homie Tabiso Tabete. He will be performing at both festivals, so shout out to Tabiso. Slay, brother, slay!
And all the way here in Jozi, Nelson Mandela Square is bringing the sparkle to the City of Lights this festive season with a Christmas market on the square from the 16th until the 17th of December, ending off the year on the 23rd of December with a stunning production of Carols on the Square.
And one exciting peek into 2019, Michael W. Smith's SA tour will be hitting Pretoria Morletta Park on the 4th of June 2019. For those gospel lovers out there, tickets are officially available. And the fairest panto of them all is still at Joburg Theatre till the 23rd of December. Be sure to check out Janice Honeymoon's Snow White with the family.
Yeah, just to... This is so funny, but for everyone listening out there, Shantae and I, we have to go back and forth with the microphone because we're very fortunate to have Queen in studio with us today. And it's the first time that we have 4 people in studio.
Hashtag sharing a mic.
It's exciting. It's exciting. Going back to the People's Productions, the arrangement by Dolra, they present Beauty and the Beast Jr. at the Joburg Theatre until the 23rd of December.
And then with a special shout out to the Cape Town Matilda team, they're still running strong there at Cape Town. And also in Cape Town at the Theatre on the Bay, The Cleverest Murder of Mystery in British Theatre, Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap is showing till the 19th of January. Be sure to check it out.
And at the Artscape Theatre, the Cape Town City Ballet presents The Little Mermaid. Wish I could see this one on stage. So did someone say Freddie Mercury?
What?
Did someone say Freddie Mercury?
He's in the house.
That's right. Queen, It's a Kind of Magic recreates Queen's 1986 World Tour concert featuring over 20 of the band's greatest hits such as We Will Rock You, Bohemian Rhapsody, We Are the Champions, Under Pressure, and Fat Bottom Girls.
Yes.
So, we've got the gentleman here in studio today. We're very, very excited. And where? You can catch this show live at Emperor's Palace from the 30th of November until the 31st of December.
Just do it. And don't forget the music phenomenon that is Caroline Barole on portraying her role as Tina Turner in Tina Simply the Best at the Rudderberg Theatre until the 16th of December 2018. Y'all, that's this weekend. Get your tickets now and don't avoid disappointment. After our interview last week with Caroline, I had the opportunity to go and see the show and hashtag review. It was amazing. Just check my review on Facebook. It says enough.
And in the local world of stand-up comedy, the Sun Arena Times Square brings Comedy and Soul tonight on the 14th of December with some food and for those soulful funny bones.
Yes, and just to those Nathaniel fans out there, you can book your tickets in time. Their Valentine's special for next year brings Nathaniel Funny Valentine on the 14th of February 2019 in the Atterbury Theatre.
And on the local film front, Act Films is premiering their newest horror film, Hell Trip, this year. They previously premiered at the Comic-Con privately and exclusively, and next week they are going to the Kailani Mall on the 20th of December. Some of our lucky listeners had the chance to grab themselves some double tickets for this premiere.
Even me, I got. Also this weekend on the 16th December, Tshwane Arts Hub will be hosting their RomCon Festival in Pretoria. This is the showcase of SA artists that will produce art filled with love and humor and in all the mediums, ending the night with a movie from one of the producers. Hashtag free entrance.
And for those comic book lovers out there, the new Spider-Man animation launches today on the 14th of December in new Metro cinemas nationwide.
And for the DC fans, want to see this beautiful man whirl his Poseidon pitchfork, save the world, and talk to fish? Aquaman is coming to cinema on the 21st of December.
And talk to fish. And with Christmas spirit on a high, make sure that you go and catch the latest take on The Grinch, still in cinemas worldwide, starring Benedict Cumberbatch. It is still ranking second in box office worldwide with over $330 million.
And there you have it, another great session of What's Hot locally and internationally. Keep up to speeds with your weekly dose of news and entertainment right here on Let's Talk Showbiz, every Friday from 11:30 to 12:30. You are also welcome to tag us at Let's Talk Showbiz on any media regarding industry gems and upcoming events.
Or you can just invite us to your shows, premieres, productions, as we are constantly trying to promote local and international talent here in South Africa. Hashtag local empowerment, hashtag Mzansi for sure. Also make sure that you tag us and on our features on Instagram and on our social media, which is at Let's Talk Showbiz.
Yes, just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yes, I got him to say it, y'all. Okay. We will be taking a short break, and when we return, we will be diving into our second segment of the show with our guests in studio. Carl Thompson, Richard Baker, Stephen Dennett, and Giles Taylor. Hope I said that right.
No, you didn't. Try again.
Giles Taylor. A beautiful, sexy man sitting right in front of me. The Four Musketeers known as Queen, currently playing at the Emperor's Palace.
And remember, if you've got any questions for our guest here in studio, you can inbox us on our Facebook page at Let's Talk Showbiz, and we'll be right back.
Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.beastownmedia.co.za.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za.
Welcome back, everyone. You're tuned in here with us on Let's Talk Showbiz. Joining us in studio is the fantastic artists, performers, and musicians behind the incredible and fantastic tribute show, the iconic Queen, It's a Kind of Magic.
Yes, Queen, It's a Kind of Magic in the Emperor's Palace all the way from Australia. It recreates the band's 1986 World Tour concerts and features over 20 of their greatest hits. Wow.
Cool. And it's paying attention to the music and the iconic Freddie Mercury, the amazing guitar solos of Brian May, and the groundbreaking rock harmonies. The show creates Queen's 1986 World Tour, and it features some of the greatest hits performed live, including We Will Rock You, Bohemian Rhapsody, We Are the Champions, Somebody to Love, and Fat Bottom Girls.
Yep. Aside from the timeless music, producer Johnny van Grinsven attributes the show's
Those big words.
Giles, help me, Giles.
Attributes the show continued success and attention to detail. Everything from costumes, instruments, and even the light cues.
Oh, you did this. You can snort it live on air. Well done. It's all over now. You might as well just start asking me
Going
questions.
into a laugh attack.
Maybe we should take over the show. Good morning and welcome to 27 Bucks.
Making Queen It's a Kind of Magic extraordinary, authentic is the involvement in Peter Freestone's Freddie Mercury's best friend, biographer, personal assistant, and constant companion for the final 12 years of his life. As production consultant, Freestone has schooled the cast and producers on the characters and the nuisance of the original band in order to perfect the performances. The main benefactor of Freestone's knowledge is the frontman, Giles, right?
Yeah, right.
Giles Taylor,
He knows.
who steps on stage as Freddie Mercury.
Yes. And in addition to being the only Freddie's impersonator in the world who sings and plays both piano and guitar live on stage, Taylor is also widely praised for the trademark Mercury wit and cheekiness that he brings to the life in the show. Supporting Taylor in the mammoth stage production, each with jaw-dropping solos that show off their unassumably good musicmanship, are Australians Richie Baker and Brian May on the guitar, Carl Thompson as Roger Taylor on the drums, and South Africa's Stephen Dennett as John Deacon on bass.
The music that helped define British rock is recreated with a passionate attention to detail in Queen It's a Kind of Magic. To the delight of fans, old and new, director Johnny has brought together 4 talented musicians to transport the audiences back to Queen's 1986 World Tour, complete with the white spandex and Masters of Curls. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us in studio. Now we've got all
What's up? What's up?
Now we've got all the script stuff behind. Let's put the papers and the big words aside. Now we can just have fun.
No, don't misunderstand. Like, I can handle this. It was the 4 beautiful men sitting in front of me that just kept distracting me.
Yes,
Like, what's up with you guys, man? That's not fair.
So, guys, you guys have now been, I'm a massive supporter of Queen, and actually went to see the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, which
Nice.
was amazing. So tell us, as much as we all love Queen, let's get to know you guys, the talent behind. So obviously you guys are portraying Queen, but let's get to know each one of you. So let's take turns and start, and let's get to know the men, the talented people behind the show first, before we dive into Queen, because I'm sure that the whole world knows who Queen is. But let's get to know Steve and Kyle and Giles and Richie. Let's get to know you guys.
Sure.
Right. So, hi, my name's Stephen Dennett. South African-born bass player traveling with this production for the last, 4 odd years. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back in Johannesburg and performing for you wonderful people. And I will move on to other people.
Great, that was very descriptive of your life.
Yeah, just want to
Well, what else do you want to know?
It was somewhat abridged, wasn't it? see if you can make yours shorter then. By the time it gets to Richie, you won't have to say it.
What's up? My name's Kyle. I play Roger Taylor in The Queen Show. Also been a part of this show for 4 or 5 years now. I've been playing drums for 23 years.
You're only 22.
That's how good it is.
I'm 26 for the record.
never.
Yeah, 26. Anyway, that's so off topic.
Great, this is gone.
Yeah, this is really going well. And yeah, it's cool to be in Joburg once again. We haven't. What was last time we were here was 2 years ago
Yeah, end of 2016.
at the Civic. So yeah, that was cool, and it's really cool here. Check us out at Emperor's Palace. Do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
What is with that?
It's just a
Is this your little moniker kind of thing?
a new trend that just happened by accident and then it stayed.
that you started?
And it gets stuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel
Like
we need
today.
these. Steve, what would yours be? just to randomly throw in at the end of any sentence.
Cowabunga, dude.
Oh,
Wow.
Old school. Yeah, I like that.
You guys need like a switchboard. We have like the soundboard, like
We're gonna
push the
record
buttons.
these and use this against you in future.
Please.
Great.
Amazing.
Take me to court.
And then you, the front row man.
The front row man.
Front, yeah.
Front row
not the
man.
front man. He's in the front
I
row.
always sit in the front row because I love watching myself perform.
Oh,
It all makes sense now.
My name's Giles. I play the role of Freddie Mercury in the show. I'll be honest, I do it for the costumes. They are flamboyant and ridiculous and so much fun. And yeah, it's good. I like quiet walks in the park and cats. No, I'm joking. I like good old-fashioned rock and roll. That's what I like. And that's what this show is all about.
But I like cats too, don't worry.
Oh, we have something in common. Yay! Maybe that could be my noise.
Cowabunga, dude.
Do it.
Guys, this is a thing.
see, now everyone else just needs to get one. Richie.
My name's Richie. I play Brian May in the It's Kind of Magic show. I've been playing guitar all my life, and I love this show because I get to play really loud and really fast all night long. It's fantastic.
Now, to start off with Kyle, you are also from Australia, correct?
That is correct.
And you are portraying the infamous drummer.
The infamous.
Yeah, bro. The
As opposed to
infamous. I'm on a roll here. I'm starting a new language.
At
Just
famous.
watch. Drummer Roger Taylor.
Yes.
How has the entire journey been for you?
It's been interesting because stylistically, I mean, drumming has changed so much, like since 60s, 70s. Like it's been totally revolutionized. So, I mean, obviously being born in the 90s and growing up with drummers of that era and modern drummers and stuff like that, I had to go back and watch Roger Taylor from videos and just start again from scratch to really embody the way that he played, like all the little idiosyncrasies, like for example, like leaving your stick on the head that is like really bad technique.
You had to unlearn how to play.
I had to unlearn how to play. So yeah, so the experience is, I mean, we get to travel the world doing this stuff.
Yes.
So I mean, you know, we get to perform for people of all different ages, cultures, see different places, you know, and we get to rock out for 2 hours every night. It's great cardio, by the way.
So, drumming, tick.
Okay, Steve, so you're making the appearance as the bass guitarist that was
Bass
known.
guitarist.
It's both of us.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a bunch
He likes fishing.
Yeah. Like some things I'll let go, but bass
it
has
turns a
got to
bit
be
wet.
correct.
I think
Yeah.
it's something in the coffee.
You reckon?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. I
Is
think
that why
it
there's
is.
this random bowl of sugar on the table?
Yeah.
Just for you listeners at home,
Damn,
there's
it's
the
all
world's
secret.
smallest
See?
fan and a bowl of sugar on the table.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
who
real
said it
in
was
here.
sugar?
Ooh.
Just kidding.
Stay in school.
But okay, so you're from South Africa.
Yes, I am
You
indeed.
were born here.
Indeed.
But
Indeed.
currently, obviously, you're on tour and you're going
Yeah.
around the world. But are you still residing in South Africa apart from not doing the show?
Yeah, well, I mean, when I'm home, I do I sort of bounce between Joburg and Cape Town, where my mum and dad live respectively, sort of hanging out with mates, doing what I need to do. But yeah, for the most part, I'm on the road with these guys. I think I've been home about 9 days this whole year. So very nomadic, and I love it. I enjoy it. We're completely addicted to travel.
Jet setters.
Yeah. It's
So,
good.
how does it feel for you to be involved in such an incredible international production and telling the stories of such iconic legends, and exploring your talent and your talent in this music?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, again, much like Kyle, this isn't really my forte, so to speak, and I did have to kind of go back and really familiarize myself with, with the style of music and the style of playing. So it's been a good sort of like stretch, to sort of learn these techniques and songs that I might not necessarily have listened to. But yeah, just to get to play, just to get out there and to rock out on stage. And thankfully, I really do love these guys, and that makes a big difference. And, cowabunga, dude. Yeah, so it's great. Travel is good, but it's also very nice to be home. To be honest, it's good to be back here and to see some South African faces again.
Now, lastly, but obviously certainly not the least, we have a leading man of Queen, Mr. Freddie Mercury, who is played by Giles Taylor. You are filling Freddie's signature pants. So tell us more about you and how you got involved in the Showtime's production of Queen, It's a Kind of Magic. How did you get involved? How did it
I
start?
want to rephrase that question.
Okay, perfect.
I am indeed filling Freddie's pants. Might I add that those pants are very, very tight as well, so there's not much room for manoeuvre. Seriously, those costumes are hellishly tight. Oh, now you're quiet.
Do it.
Joking. In all seriousness, it is a total honour to be playing the role of Freddie Mercury. We had auditions worldwide for all of our parts, not just mine. So the production company really did want to get the best of the best that was available. So clearly everyone else had jobs at the time. So we got the roles, and yeah, like my colleagues here said, it's amazing to pay tribute to him and respectively the band every night. To tour the world and go and meet all these other Queen fans who would like to have seen Queen in their heyday when Freddie was fronting them, and give them the opportunity to do that, and to get the feedback from them as well is something that a lot of performers don't have the chance to do. We do a meet and greet afterwards and chat to people, and it's not just to sign stuff and do all that kind of stuff. It's nice to have a chat with people, especially
connect with
die-hard Queen fans, and find out what they thought,
Stalker.
what they liked, what they didn't like. Yeah, we actually do have a stalker at the moment. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Shout out to their stalker. Just keep it coming.
Yeah. Hashtag stalker. There you go.
It was about to be you.
It's most definitely not
I got
Cowabunga.
invited to the show. There's a difference.
Fair enough.
But so how did the journey start for you? 4 years ago, right?
4 or 5 years ago,
4
I
or 5 years
was
ago.
doing a show in the West End in London, and my agent phoned me up and said, look, they're looking for someone who can sing, has a bit of stage experience, but can also play the piano live, because there's a lot of good Queen tribute acts out there and Freddie tributes, but very few of them play the piano live. In fact, there's only one other Queen tribute where the guy does. So they wanted to basically make it the best that they possibly could. So that was the prerequisites for my job. I'm sure the guys had their own, but it was a very long, lengthy audition process after that for me. It was, all in all, it was almost just over a year, which is unheard of. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I can imagine. And now, this is for everyone. Obviously, you guys are portraying the iconic band, which is Queen. A lot of preparation and rehearsal, and a lot of planning goes into something like this to get everything down to a T. Tell us a bit more about that. Like, how was the journey for you guys having to get into the process?
Horrific.
that's one word of expressing it.
No, I remember sitting in a studio with these guys, and I mean, we had all the tracks, and we sat and we listened, and then you start pulling apart all the harmony lines, and you sit there for hours and you're trying to figure it out, and then by the end of the day, you've got no voice left. And you're like, it was difficult. And then if you separate all the parts, like the instrument parts, they don't make sense on their own.
Yeah.
It's only when they're collaborative.
Oh, look at you with the big
yeah,
words,
I know.
man.
Collaboratively.
Cowabunga, dude. Kyles.
It's only when they're all put together that it actually makes sense.
Good save.
Just
And
like
for
big
you,
words.
And for you guys, for you, Richie?
It was the same. The hardest part was, like Kyle said, learning the music, but then getting up on stage and being able to play the music and portray the characters, each individual character. And we actually got Peter Freestone in, Freddie Mercury's personal assistant, and he would sit there and watch us, and he'd stop and say, no, Brian May would stand like this when he played the guitar, or Freddie would lean like this when he went over to the drums, or John Deacon would never look at Roger Taylor when he did this, and so yeah, we had to sort of
look at him all the time.
learn to act and play at the same time.
Yeah. So you play guitar.
Yes.
So how did your prior skills as a guitarist contribute towards the production, and was there any specific tweaks and any specific styles or any specific stuff that you had to learn for the role that you're playing?
Nah, he's a god.
Absolutely, because Brian May is like one of the world's best guitarists, but his sound is extremely unique.
Yeah.
So to reproduce that sound took a lot of tweaking, like learning how he sets his guitar amps up, learning how he plays the guitars, even just the shapes he uses, even the position he has the guitar, like the height of the guitar, it all contributes to that sound. Whereas if you just get up there and just play it any old way, it's like, yeah, I'm just playing a Queen song, it'll never sound like Brian May.
Now, Giles.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Cat got your tongue, Carl?
It's said that you are the only Freddie impersonator in the world who sings and plays both the piano and guitar live on stage. Though piano and vocals have been a mainstay in your repertoire since childhood, you taught yourself guitar specifically for the role of Mercury?
This is actually true, yes.
Ooh, tell us a bit more.
To be fair, I didn't. Richie here taught me some chords, and if you ever watch Freddie Mercury live on stage when he picks up a guitar, the first thing he says is, "I'll keep the language clean for a change." He basically says that he's not the best guitarist in the world and he only knows 4 chords. But those are the only 4 chords that I need to know in the show. So just do what you need to do and do it well.
Must, yeah.
Now, to the rest of the band, did you guys all had to go do additional training over and above what you already had, your experience that you already had? Did you guys have to go for additional training? Like you said, you had to go look at the videos and look at the music, and you had to go look at the stuff. What was very different to the styles that you were used to compared to what you have to do now for the show?
Specifically sort of bass-wise, like I love sort of slap bass. I love like R&B and funk and more of that kind of thing. And Deacon didn't really bring much of that to the table, at least not in the early days. It was a lot of sort of straight-ahead rock type stuff, and just so sort of really solid playing without too much flash. Just to get the sort of their movements and their vibe and learn a little bit about them sort of personally to try and bring that to the stage. I wouldn't so much say it was studying, but it was great to delve into that and learn more about the sort of mentality behind their playing. And supporting the song, I think, is the most important.
Is there anything that anyone else wants to add on that?
Yeah, I think, from where we started, going back to look at the Queen stuff is kind of more like revisiting the foundation of where music has progressed from, or where playing has progressed from. So I think it gives us a more rounded idea of what we're actually playing, which I can certainly appreciate. And then vocally, they all had really high voices, so that took a lot of work.
Now, Giles, you said in an interview in Canada earlier this year that when people come to the show, your aim is to have them leaving with the perception that they just have seen a real Queen live show. How was the preparation like for you, specifically for you? How's the preparation for you leading to the moment going onto stage? What is your preparation getting into character and putting yourself, who you are, aside to go onto stage as Freddie?
I think, firstly, any actor or performer is playing a role to get rid of 100% yourself and move into the role is very, very hard. So there's always a little bit of you that you take with you, and vice versa in everyday life. There's always a little bit, a little bit of Freddie in there when we're touring, for example. If I'm doing Freddie every night for 3 months, then it's not really a switch on, switch off kind of thing. There's definitely a cut-off point when I'm finished doing my makeup, and the last thing I do is I put mascara on my moustache, just to give it that black Freddie look. And I think that's when my mind goes, okay, we're now going on stage. What was that? That was almost sexual. Have you got some kind of weird moustache fetish? Because we're in the right place.
Cowabunga dude.
Just what I was thinking, Steve.
That escalated very quickly.
Yeah, but you were saying so.
And I think another thing that people ask me often is it really hard doing the Freddie vocals? Yes, it's hard, but the hardest thing is actually he was ridiculously fit.
Yeah.
When he wasn't sitting at the piano, he was always running around stage. He was just non-stop. And I think that, for me, was more of a hurdle than actually getting the vocals nailed.
Yeah, of course. Well, we'll be taking a quick break, and when we return, they are going to do something for us in studio live, and then we'll continue with the studio, so we'll be right back.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
1, 0. This one is explosive.
brandlive.co.za.
Lunatic, 'cause I do what I want, and I get what I want when I want it. You know life can be so ordinary. Boy meets girl, they said, "Oh, make a baby."
brandlive.co.za. Harnessing the power of talk radio. brandlive.co.za.
Cool. Welcome back to Let's Talk Showbiz. We're in studio here with Giles, Richie, Kyle, and Steve, the four men all the way from Showtime Australia's production of Queen. It's a Kind of Magic, currently at Emperor's Palace until the 31st of December. Make sure that you get your tickets.
Just do it.
Meow. So we're going to...
Wait, I need Freddy's.
So now we're going to have a nice live demonstration, and we're going to have a performance here by the Queen themselves.
This thing called love, I can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get round to it and get ready. Crazy little thing called love. This thing called love, you cry like a baby in the cradle all night. It swings, it jives, shakes all over like a jellyfish. I kinda like it. Crazy little thing called love. There goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She gives me hot and cold fever. In a cuckoo sweat. Gotta be cool, relax, get hip, get on the right tracks, take a back seat, hitchhike, take a long ride on my motorbike and get ready. Crazy little thing called love. Crazy little thing called love. Crazy little thing called love. One more time. Crazy little thing called love.
Damn! Wow, that was amazing.
And if you want to get more of that, make sure that you head through to Emperor's Palace. They're there until the 31st of December, and the guys are actually doing a New Year's show, I heard.
We are.
We
had
are.
a big
Come
one on
party
New
with
Year's
us.
Eve in Empress Palace.
Fantastic.
And for all you listeners in Cape Town, we're there on the 12th of January in the Grand West Arena.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I'm just saying, everybody listening, it's a pleasure.
You're very welcome.
Well, we're having fun in studio.
We are.
And bringing it back in a review in Sydney, Australia, their road to Taylor is wonderful in his commitment to the role, both vocally and physically. And thankfully, a camera projects his expressions whilst at the Baby Grand. Bakers delivers some phenomenal guitar work and breathtaking solo set. Dennett with less vocals, tying him to the... Sorry.
What are we tying him to?
Wow.
To his art. Tying him to his microphone moves around the stage to interact with the rest of the band, adding a playfulness and making it clear that they are having fun and having a rapport. Thompson is brilliant on the drums with intense solos, which also hint to a touch of mischievousness as it, in the young musician.
Okay, so this sounds like a mean team of very well musically inclined people. So we assume that all of you guys have good experience musically and are trained. That some of I want to know, before I get to the question, I actually want to know. So this, so you guys are obviously portraying Queen. Now coming back to real life, who in the band is the more serious one? Who in the band is the funny person that makes all the jokes? And how would you place you guys in real life? You know, when you're not on stage having to portray Queen, but when you're yourself. Because, like you said, you've been traveling with each other, so you've been getting to know each other for the past 4 years.
I think we've all kind of, at least our sense of humour have kind of morphed into
one.
One twisted enigma of an excuse
Donkey.
of a being. Donkey.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
we're all as twisted as one another, maybe in slightly different ways. Obviously these guys have youth on their side, whereas myself and Brian are considerably more cynical.
I don't know, man. My cynicism is going strong.
Definitely creeping up with the age.
Your jadedness is definitely overflowing.
Now, Kyle, you said when we spoke about it earlier, about the training and the rehearsals, you said it was hectic.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about that. What was the routines like and the training like? How was it all leading up to it? And I'm assuming that you guys are still in training, so what is the routine for you guys? Because, yes, you guys have done a lot of training, but you need to keep in with all of that as you go to the next show and to the next show. So what is your guys' routine and how was the training like for you guys?
I mean, largely, we kind of had to figure it out for ourselves. I mean, personally, I didn't go to anyone. I just watched the videos and did vocal warm-ups every day. I mean, our rehearsal schedule to begin with, before we even got onto a stage, was like how long did we spend? Like 10 hours a day or something like that.
Yeah.
Like playing 3 songs, and you do that just all day. And then you get, eventually you get on stage, and then you got to take that, and then also learn how to move and act like this. It was a lot. We don't have to do it so much now, as long as
It's kind of into a flow.
Exactly. I mean,
So how long was the rehearsal period before you actually did your very first show?
Oh, months.
Yeah. It was a long time.
Months and months and months.
Yeah.
So did you guys also had to, because I remember last week with Caroline, who was in the show, she's doing the Tina Turner also Showtime Australia. She actually said that what she had to do as part of her preparation was be involved in other shows. So did you guys also have to do? Did you guys also do that? Were you guys also involved in other Showtime Australia shows leading up to Queen?
I mean, we've been myself and Rich have been performing since before these two were born. So I think you probably take all of that experience and you build it up into whatever character you're playing at the moment, and it gives you something to draw on. But going back to the training thing, like Kyle said earlier, it's more the unlearning process when you've been playing for so long. The way I was singing had to basically be ripped down to shreds and rebuilt. So it becomes this sort of pseudo-opera,
It's very
pseudo-rock
interesting.
kind of
It's
style,
a total
as
different
opposed to having
mentality.
a West End voice, which would be no use for this.
Yeah.
But were any of you in a previous Showtime show?
Well, I have been. So I actually joined Showtime when I was 16.
There we
Oh,
go.
wow.
And
Okay.
I played in a Miley Cyrus Hannah Montana tribute show.
That was last year.
Yeah, I'm only 4 years old anyway. So yeah, I've been working with Showtime on and off. So
Okay.
that was my into the Queen show.
And myself as well, it was the same thing. I was working locally with them prior to to joining this show, and they were like, well, could you do it? Would you be keen? And I was like, well,
Fantastic.
yes.
And you guys also have been with Showtime, or first show with Showtime, Queen?
No, I've been with Showtime for the better part of 15 years or so. So I pretty much had something to do with every show he's done.
Oh,
but
okay,
cool.
that's great.
the Queen show is my one little passion where I get to go out and just do what I want.
Yeah, I think because Queen is it's just so great.
It's just so great.
It's just nice
It's
and
amazing.
raw.
Yeah,
There's
it's
nothing
so much
polished about
high
it. It's just
energy.
raw, good old-fashioned rock and roll.
And I think you can get away with like doing anything on stage because you're Queen.
Yeah.
Almost. Pushing those boundaries over there.
Yeah.
So, just for the stalkers out there, are you guys single, taken, married? What's the deal? And for me.
I'm very much taken.
Ah, damn it.
Sorry, man.
Kidding.
Not married, but very much taken. Yeah.
Anybody else?
No, I'm definitely single.
Definitely single.
No, well, I mean, not definitely.
So his
but,
number
you know.
is 555.
0800 rent a Kyle.
And you guys?
Taken.
I am attached.
Attached.
To my job.
Yes.
I think why we're asking, it leads to the next question. Why we're asking,
How do you guys balance your lives in the starlight, traveling around the globe as Queen, and having to maintain your personal, emotional, and social lives with friends, family, and loved ones? If you guys, well, you do. Those who do have partners.
I'm in a lucky position whereby when we're not doing Queen, I tour with my partner's show.
oh, that's great. And you guys, how do you guys balance? Because it's tricky. Like I mean, you guys said it's fun, it's awesome. You're traveling the globe, but the person doesn't always travel with you.
Yeah, for
So
sure. And
how do you manage that? Well, not just that, but your social life and being so busy.
First of all, in terms of social lives, we don't have any other friends.
Yeah. No, this is it.
This is it, and it's enough. I've got enough friends.
Yeah, this is enough. We don't need more friends.
Definitely, and yeah, relationships can be tough, but if you're with someone who understands that it's your passion and it's what you do, then you kind of make it work. And when you get the opportunity, you meet up and sort of come on the road for a bit, or when you take time, you head over to wherever you need to, and it's just balance. As with everything, if you had a corporate job or 9 to 5, it would be the same thing. You face very similar boundaries and issues.
And for you guys, how have you guys been finding it, balancing the life in the starlight, and managing social and family and friends and all of that, managing that?
I think, as Steve said, it is very hard. I obviously miss my partner when I'm doing my Queen show, but then I also love my Queen show.
Yeah, of course.
And she knows that too.
Yeah, she knows. Obviously, she's in the same boat, but obviously doing a different show. So it works. It works very well.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
I think it's always important to have someone, like you said, it's always important to have someone in your life that understands what you're doing, that respects it, and that stands behind your ambition, because it makes it kind of difficult if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what has been the greatest experience thus far for you guys in this production? What has been the most amazing experience? Whether it was in South Africa, in Canada, in Sydney, you guys have been everywhere. What would you say has been the greatest experience by this far? I know you have to think 4 years back now.
Yeah.
I've always kind of got Singapore on
I
the
was
tip of
going to
my
say
tongue.
Singapore as well.
We had a really, really good sort of week there with a couple of shows at the Marina Bay Sands, and we were treated really well. We had a great time. We partied hard, and it was a really, really rock and roll time in a beautiful city. They were nuts.
You would not think that Singaporeans are A, huge Queen fans, or B, very outgoing at a concert.
Yeah.
They were absolutely
They were
nuts.
crazy.
I think we had just over 2,000 people a night. It's a huge theatre.
Yeah. And stunning as well.
And they're just absolutely mad.
And we had
It's great.
armed guards kind of carrying us,
Didn't we have
moving us around.
Didn't we have some guy walk out because it wasn't Freddie?
Yes,
Yeah.
one guy in Singapore. He complained and demanded his money back because it wasn't the real Freddie.
Yeah, right.
Now, bearing in mind that at this time Freddie had been dead for a good 18, 19, 20 years.
Yeah.
Shame.
Well, he was disappointed.
Yeah.
If you were sincere, I mean, sure. Cool. Now I am sure you guys saw Bohemian Rhapsody, the film, which was recently released. Seeing that the film and the lives of Queen, especially Freddie Mercury, how did that shed light for you guys when portraying these lives of these men? No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay, I'll go first then. It's very hard to, if you're doing a biography of someone or a band, to condense their whole lifespan, in which, in Queen's case, it was 40 years into a 2-hour film. The film as a standalone film was really good. The actors were cast really, really well, and I would tell anyone to go and see it. But if you're a die-hard Queen fan, you're going to have to put up with the fact that chronologically it makes no sense, and it's not remotely anywhere close to the truth.
Yeah, because you guys obviously in order to take that's why we're asking the question, because in order for you guys to be able to do Queen, you guys had to obviously do a lot of research. Obviously, you guys were Queen fans yourself, and you would get involved, but you guys had to obviously get to know the people that you're playing. So hence we asked the question.
Sure.
You saw the film. How's it like for you guys seeing the film? Like you just said, and the chronological order might not be 100% correct, but how does it? What's the question I'm trying to ask is your experience. You had to do research and get. How would you say how different is the life that was shed with the movie?
Well, for Freddie's role, the guy Peter Freestone, whom Brian Ritchie touched on earlier, he also sat in on the movie. And he was there during all the days of filming and making sure, as he did with me, that Rami Malek got all his positionings and everything right, correct. So, to be fair, it's pretty. What obviously because we had the same teacher, it's like what he does is pretty close to what I would do. So kudos to him. Obviously, I didn't study the other members of the band, but having worked with these guys for years and seen what they do on stage and then seeing what they've done in the films, I'll be honest, it's pretty close. It's good. I mean, good work, guys. Well done.
Yeah,
it's hard to do.
I turned down the part for the movie. They asked me. I said I was busy. I was on tour.
Is it? But I think you guys, my honest opinion, I think you guys have a harder job here. What you guys are doing is because it's easy with the film. It's cut and reshoot and they can edit it. And yeah, the film was brilliant. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the film. I'm a very big Queen fan, and the film was spectacular. But it's different because you guys are live. You are in the spotlight.
But you also get away with a lot because it is live.
Yeah, exactly.
You can always rewind the film and go, did he just say that?
Yeah, did he say, people scrutinize it.
Whereas in the show, I might get away with it.
Yeah. It's loud and there's lights and,
So it's like catch 22.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Now here's a fun one, starting with you, Giles. How do you get into character and maintain the character? More specifically, doing this for so long. Have you taken a part of the character with you home before? I feel like you've answered this question, but...
The second part I have answered, and yes, it's really hard to disassociate yourself 100%, especially if you're doing a long tour. If you're just doing like a random one show, then yeah, you're in, characters on, and then you're out.
Yeah, sometimes I have fun at home. I'm just like, I'm going to be Freddie now.
That's a very personal question.
I made orange juice as Freddie.
I might sneak a costume home now and then.
Take the boots home.
Going to have breakfast.
I'm not allowed to take the costumes away. They're all handcrafted and handmade and very expensive. They wouldn't let me take them home and play with them if I wanted to.
And for you guys, do you? It might be a little bit different for you guys, but do you guys, having had to step in the footlights of Queen, doing this for 4 years portraying, do you guys take part of the show and the concept with you home?
I mean, yeah. I like to think I live pretty rock and roll as it is. I just have my whole life. It's just kind of how been
to
playing
be fair,
in bands
not
since
much
I was
has
like 13.
really changed.
Yeah,
that much.
so we're very lucky in this role that we get to just I'd be doing it anyway. If I wasn't doing it on this stage, I'd be playing somewhere else. And the fact that I get paid to do it and get to do it with these dudes is very cool.
Now, let's start with you, Richie. What is I know this is very, very hard. What is your favorite Queen song?
Favorite Queen song?
Okay, now let me rephrase. Not what's your favorite Queen song? What is your favorite Queen song to do?
To play on stage. I'd probably have to say Headlong.
Yeah.
There's something about that song. It's more of a modern Queen sound, and with these guys and their style plus the way we play Queen, we really nail it. Like, we sound so close to the record, it's not funny. So every time I play that song, it's like, oh my god, I'm playing with Queen. It's like,
And you?
For me, it's probably Fat Bottom Girls.
Nice.
It's the first song I remember hearing by Queen. My father had a copy of Queen's Greatest Hits and played it non-stop. And I remember giggling childishly as a schoolboy and going, ooh, Fat Bottom Girls, great. However, 30 years later, who doesn't love a fat bottom girl, right? Just like you like moustaches, hey.
Very quiet in
I think the cats was more what we had in common. Meow.
Cowabunga did.
You see, we've got it. Everyone has something down.
It's done.
Cool. And for you, Carl, what's your favorite song?
I want to say Bo Rap, purely because Queen never played it live all the way through. Like when it gets to the operatic part.
No one told me that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if
Well-
you tell me that, you never have learnt the middle bit.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
No, but because at the time, music videos were more of a thing, so they used to line up like a record or something backstage and then play the video, and that was more of a feature for them back in the 70s. So, and then for us to pull up the harmony parts live.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw in the review they complimented you guys on that. Saying that you could not is just the vocals and the instruments and the lights and the energy, but the harmonies. It was also complimented quite good. I'm actually very excited to see this tomorrow.
Yeah, nice.
Okay,
Should be.
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, probably Headlong as well, I think. It's very rock and roll, and we really do make it our own, I think. But
Like-
they've all got something,
Yeah,
every
okay.
tune's got something. Some of them are a bit more energetic, some of them are a bit quieter and sort of more subdued, for a bit at least. Bicycle's pretty cool as well, just because it's such a random tune. And there's a great video playing in the back that just people are not expecting. I'm not going to tell you what that is either, but, so that's always exciting to see people's reaction to that song, personally.
So I see Shantae wants to ask something.
Cool. So, now
Shame.
I want you guys to do your best impersonation of your characters.
I need a
Just
drink for that.
Yeah.
Quite literally. That's
Like-
all he did was drink and play
Yeah.
bass.
pretend.
Yep. Cowabunga, dude.
Yeah. Did he actually say it?
No.
You have been disqualified.
Okay, great.
Ooh, you're out.
I'm out. Can I get a drink? I'm just kidding.
Next. No pressure.
What was
Car. Think about the bloody car.
no,
I'm in love
see,
with the car.
I didn't learn that song, man.
It's a terrible song.
Yeah, no, see, I didn't learn how to speak like him.
Sing.
Chipping around, kick my brain around the floor. These are the days it doesn't rain, but it pours.
And the crowd goes wild. Next.
I
You
think
do?
Freddie's accent was probably one of his biggest carriers. So if I'm doing dialogue in the show, and there's a lot of dialogue between myself and the crowd, then one tends to poshen things up a bit, darling, and make him sound very colonial,
Yeah.
and occasionally throw the F word in.
So that's what the yas means.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And a song?
You want a song?
Yeah.
Let's give you a song.
No, give us another one.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'll give you a bit of Wembley. Dale!
Richie?
Tell the truth, I've never actually heard Brian May speak.
Well, do something for us what he would do on the guitar. I know you might not have the right one here.
What Brian May would normally do.
Nice, Brian.
Nice.
Fantastic. That concludes our interview with these incredible, talented group of musicians known as Queen and the all-time favorite tribute production Queen It's a Kind of Magic, now playing at the Emperor's Palace until the 31st of December.
Time for our favorite game, Oh Snap! For those first-time listeners, every week our guest participates in this little game we have where we throw random words at you for 60 seconds and he or she has to answer a relevant word to each as quick as possible.
So, now, remember...
What age did you say your listeners were?
Go fish.
Yeah. Okay, so guest has to answer as many as they can in 60 seconds, and yes, there's a scoreboard. At the end of the season, the guest with the highest score will receive an exclusive Let's Talk Showbiz hamper. Okay, so remember, you can't say pass, you have to answer. If you answer wrong, meaning if you say something that's irrelevant, or the word, or you take longer than 3 to 5 seconds, then your answer falls out. So how we're going to do this, normally we do it like guests, and we normally have one guest in studio. So we're going to start with you. We're going to give you a word. We'll demonstrate how it works.
Please.
And then you'll answer the first word, then you the word, then you, and then we go back. So for the 60 seconds, we go choo, 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 and then back.
So it'll be like a relay.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Come on,
So
team. We got
basically,
this team.
At 60 seconds, we're going to throw words at you, and you just have to say what comes to your mind, but maybe think before you speak.
PG-13, y'all.
And it's something like if I say color toothbrush,
Blue.
favorite food,
Spaghetti.
water,
Aqua.
a toothbrush.
Toothpaste.
Tibet.
Okay, so you get
Okay,
that,
yeah.
You got it.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
cool. So are you ready for the timer? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Color.
Blue.
Red.
Favorite food?
Oh,
Just keep going, just keep going.
Pizza.
Film.
Being rusty.
Water.
Water. Aqua.
Animal.
Tiger.
Book.
No.
Skip.
Yeah.
Toothbrush.
Mine.
Animation.
Animation. Cartoon.
Coffee.
Good.
Board game.
Chess.
Planet.
Mars.
Favorite drink.
Jack Daniels.
Wakanda.
Away to.
Country.
South Africa.
Favorite song.
Being rusty.
Instrument.
Guitar.
Last meal you had.
Coffee.
New York.
State of mind.
Sport.
Hockey.
Table Mountain.
Good view.
TV series.
Friends.
Island.
The.
Oh, snap. Time's up.
Oh, snap.
Well done. That was actually really fun.
That was
That's very stressful. My heart rate is like. Yeah, it worked.
You're so scared we're giving you a word and you're not.
No, I don't know. My heart rate's gone through the roof.
Again.
And that concludes our episode for today. It's our very last episode for 2018, and we would just like to start by thanking Giles, Richie, Steve, and Kyle for joining us in
All five
studio
of us.
today.
We're just teasing you. Just checking, you know. You can go and follow these gentlemen on their journey on the production of Queen for Showtime Australia. What are the handholds?
Yes, you can go on to www.queenitsakindaMagic.com, and you can also find them on Facebook, Queen It's a Kind of Magic, Instagram, Queen IAKM Show, Twitter, Queen IAKM Show, and hashtag Queen IMK Showtime. We will also be posting this on our Facebook and on our Instagram, so you guys can follow it.
Just do it. Meow.
Cowboy.
That was amazing.
For everyone out there, you can also follow these guys on social media. You guys are, what is your handle? For people if they want to.
Just Stephen Dennett.
Kyle Allen Thompson.
Giles_Taylor.
Richie/Baker.
Perfect, there you go. So you can go and follow these guys. Keep on to tabs. You can also go on to the Facebook page and Instagram page for Showtime Australia. Remember that they are at the Emperor's Palace until the 31st of December, so go get your tickets there.
Just do it. And that's all we got for today on Let's Talk Showbiz, our very last episode for 2018.
To all of our fantastic listeners out there worldwide, from both myself and Shantae here at Let's Talk Showbiz, we want to thank you all for tuning in every week and keeping the show alive. We wouldn't have been able to do this without you guys and without your continuous support and love.
Yes, and we are very excited to announce that Let's Talk Showbiz is one of the most listened to shows online on Brand Live. And even though today marks our last episode for 2018, we will be back for another fun-filled episode of entertainment with some awesome guests on the 4th of January 2019.
So be sure to catch up on any of our previous 8 episodes this year, which is available to be streamed on our YouTube channel on Brand Live. Until next year, we wish you everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Safe travels, everyone.
Merry Christmas! Yes. So enjoy the holiday season, and from your friends here at Let's Talk Showbiz, we hope you have a wonderful and Merry Christmas. Don't forget to keep it real, or just be a little extra if you wish. But whatever you do, it's a good life. Don't forget to love what you do and do what you love. Share your love and dedication for your craft, inspire anyone, and slay.
And we're
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za. Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za.